you deepening your experience of this inseparability, of this oneness. So first of all, question to y'all, where does everything meet? Just imagine creation for a moment as this infinite field of possibilities, potential experiences, different points of view, different images, different sensations, different configurations of energy, as I call it sometimes, different configurations of creation. There is infinite, endless things we can't even imagine that exist. Anything that can exist will exist and does exist already, timelessly so. So out of that field of infinite experiences, where would you say does every experience meet? What does every single one experience have in common with every other experience, no matter how different experience A is from experience B? What does it share? What's the one common point of contact? Consciousness. Can you see that? We've never experienced creation apart from it being an experience. We don't know if creation exists apart from experiences. And we know for sure that experiences do not exist outside of consciousness. We've never had an experience without consciousness, and we've never known creation without an experience. In other words, every point of contact, every point in creation is actually consciousness, meets in consciousness. And what are you? Are you conscious of my words right now? Are you conscious of my presence here? Whether you try to focus on it or not, is there not an effortlessness, an effortless cognizance that recognizes this moment and this moment and this moment? So who is the contact person for all of creation? You, consciousness. The one being, which is also you. You are, as an individual, an individualized expression or portion of this all that is consciousness. So true entanglement is to realize that the all that isness is actually but one being. We can talk about particles, we can talk about the science of it, and again, that's magnificent, I love that. However, what it truly means to me, and what's the deepest, most profound state of that abundant knowingness, of that unlocking that love, unlocking that inseparability, so that you can gaze upon existence and know that it is yourself. To feel safe for the first time ever, perhaps, to feel safe in this universe because you know, you feel experientially that all that you see, all that you can ever run into, whatever the experience will ever going to be, bad, good, positive, negative, it's going to be more of yourself. And if there's only one being, there is no unsafety. There is no needing to be careful. There is no lack. Everything that can ever be experienced is you. There's no lack. So true entanglement is to me, is the experiential understanding that all that is but one being. Not so much that one particle communicates instantly to another copy particle spread across this physical illusion of the universe of space-time. What's more crucial to me, and I think ultimately to everyone, is to gain that experiential understanding, that experiential feel of unity. That all is one being. And so as an analogy for that entanglement principle, that space and time really is an illusion, and that possibly, potentially, creation is nothing but a singular point, a single point of presence, a single point. It's the love affair of infinity, of the one. It's expression of itself. Space seems real, but why can't a particle communicate to another particle spread billions of light years away? It's because there is no time, there's no space. There really is no space. And one analogy that could help you gain a more experiential understanding of this is when you're watching television. When you're watching television and you get absorbed in the movie and you see this image, the scene of somebody spreading her arms and overlooking this beautiful valley with mountains in the distance and a sunset. All of that's happening, all that space, all that distance. There is the female protagonist opening her arms, there is the valley, then there's the mountains, then there's the sky, then there's the sun. There's all this depth, there's all this space, there's all this distance, there's all this time lapse. But if you step back for a second, you will see that both the distance, both the sky, both the sunset, as well as the woman in front of the scene, they're meeting as one pixel. They're meeting in a two-dimensional flat screen. Hopefully you have a flat screen by now. And you can see that it is two-dimensional. Otherwise you could still fool yourself, maybe it's inside of the television. But if you have a flat screen, it becomes very obvious that actually everything that's over there is happening right here, even though there's this whole sense of space. And especially if you put on your 3D glasses, hopefully you have a 3D TV by now, and it pops out, it's still originating from this one point, this one pixel. Now in this example, it still has a surface, it's still two-dimensional, but now imagine just collapsing that television. And soon we'll have holographic features that just come out of a single point. And there's this whole 3D experience. And I'm sure to an extent that has already been created. But so everything originates from this singular point. Everything that seems to appear as space, distance, and time can communicate instantly because it's all part of the same television, part of the same pixel, part of the same being. So there is no particle billions of light years away. It's right here. It's in the meeting point. It is in consciousness, which is you. And that's where it becomes beautiful, because if you are the consciousness, if you are the meeting point of all that is, what does that mean? That means you have access to infinite abundance. And by abundance, make no mistake, I don't mean money. I don't mean bank account. By abundance, I mean this feeling of love, this feeling of bliss, this feeling of being overwhelmingly inseparable from all that is. Feeling like there is no place you cannot go where you're not going to be met by a friendly face, by a friendly energy, by an inseparable energy, by yourself. So that you can walk fearlessly, naturally, not because you're cocky, but because you know and you feel and you've experienced, experientially, you've understood that you are one with all that is, and that all that is your being, and that you are the meeting point of creation. And there is no sense in living your life without this sense of overflowing abundance. There really is no sense in living your life without tapping into this love, into this bliss. You are a creature of bliss. You are an infinite point that is containing every other point of existence, because there is no space. There is no time. That means that your very consciousness is the root of everything in creation, even the things you do not experience with your brain consciousness. The consciousness you can tap into as your I am, I exist, I am here, I am consciousness. The meeting point of all of your experiences. What if you dive deeper into that consciousness and you can transcend one more step? And you can start to see that not only am I am the meeting point of all of my lifetime's experiences, but possibly, if I let it, I can even start glimpsing the fact that this same consciousness actually is experiencing all of creation's points of view at the same time. Past, future, space, time, distance, location, alternate realities, things we don't even know about.